I hope that some of you have ears to hear, because judgment is coming and it will find you. And there will be no escape from it. There will be no escape from God's judgment unless the Lord himself delivers you. And many of you are not ready. Many of you are friends of the world. Many of you in the churches here are friends of the world. Where you think you can be a friend of this world and a friend of God. Well, the Bible says friendship with the world is enmity towards God. And there are many friends of the world in the so-called churches. And at the top of every so-called church, there's a mega pastor getting really, really rich. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? All the mega churches, all the mega pastors, they've got one thing in common. They're really rich. They tell you about their giving. And they've got lots of books to sell. Because they're not really shepherds at all. They're wolves. They're wolves. And Paul warned about it. Paul said that evil men and impostors would grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Yes, that's what Paul warned about. He said evil men and impostors would grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. And that is the case today in America. The American mega churches, where the pastors are deceiving and enriching themselves. Oh, but the pastors tell you how much they give, don't they? Oh, they want to tell you all their good works, don't they? Well, Jesus said that what we do, our good works should be in private. But the mega pastors want to tell you because they want to keep your hand off of their money in the treasury. Yes, your pastor's a lot like one disciple. That disciple's name was Judas. Judas had his hand deep in the treasury. Yes, Pastor Craig has a lot in common with one disciple. His name was Judas. He loved money too. Judas did, didn't he? Judas loved money just like your pastor. Well, folks, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. You may have escaped the service, but you will not escape judgment when it comes to America. Many of you are not ready. It's time to forsake the pollution. Get the pollution out of your houses. It's time to stop playing games, because judgment is coming and it will find you, and there will be no escape from it unless the Lord himself delivers you. Yes, that's right, folks. Judgment is coming. And today is your warning. Today is your warning, TV Church, Life Church. Judgment is coming. The Lord has sent us here to warn you. And many of you are not ready. Many of you still have one foot in the world. Many of you love your entertainments. Many of you love Hollywood. And the Bible says that friendship with the world is enmity towards God. There are many lovers of the world in the churches, and it should not be. We should be loving God with all of our heart, all of our mind, and all of our strength. But the American churches today, they say it's okay to be a friend of the world and a friend of God. Well, that's nonsense, folks. The Bible says that if anyone loves the world or the things of the world, the love of the Father is not in them. Is the love of the Father in Life Church? Well, let's examine some fruit. Jesus said, where your treasure is, there your heart would be also. Jesus said not to store up treasure on earth, where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourself treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. Is your pastor following that? No, your pastor's enriching himself, living in luxury, just like Judas. Just like Judas that betrayed Jesus, your pastor's got his hands deep in the treasury, doesn't he? Yes, and the people love him because he's a star, right? He's an entertainment star. He's a celebrity like Oprah Winfrey.
Someone's coming over here.
Yes, judgment's coming, folks. It's time to wake up. Destruction's coming. Oh, and many people tell you, oh, our pastor gives this, he does this. Well, you know what? You shouldn't even know. You shouldn't even know what he's giving, but you know what? He has to tell you what he's giving because he's got to keep your hand off of the treasury. He wants you to keep your minds off of the treasury where you'll see what's going on. How he's enriching himself. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and God is going to judge Craig. God is going to judge him severely. And it says not many of you should want to be teachers because you will receive a strict judgment, but he doesn't fear God, does he? Craig Groeschel doesn't fear God. No, because he loves to make money. He loves to sell his books. Instead of telling people about the Bible, he wants to sell his books because there's a lot of gullible women in his church, folks. Let's be honest. There's a lot of gullible women in these churches, in these mega churches. Yes, the gullible women that buy his wares. Well, if Jesus were here, if this was the temple of God and Jesus were here, he'd have a cord of whips. Yes, he would, and he'd be turning the tables upside down. But Craig doesn't seem to mind. He's selling his books to gullible women. It's time to wake up, ladies. It's time to wake up. Wake up out of the slumber because judgment's coming. Judgment's coming and it will find you, and there will be no escape from it unless God himself delivers you. And let me tell you something, folks. There will be no escape from the judgment coming to this nation. unless God himself delivers you. Craig can't save you. He's not even going to try. Craig's going to be probably hiding in his bunker. Yes, Craig is going to be hiding, and he's going to be away. He's going to be gone. He's going to be probably flying around in a jet somewhere. He doesn't even care. But folks, there is hope for you. There is hope for the people here at Life Church. But you must humble yourself. It says, a broken spirit and contrite heart the Lord will not despise. It says that God can pour out his grace on the humble, but he's going to resist the proud. So folks, it's time to give up your entertainment. Give up your entertainment church, your celebrity pastor, and draw near to God. Because Craig can't save you. Craig's not going to even try. No, he's not counting his money. Yes, he's got an offering today. How much money did Craig make today feeding on the flock? Well, it talks about people. Jesus didn't feed on the sheep, did he? Jesus didn't enrich himself, did he? No, but the mega pastors, they get rich. They get filthy rich. They get filthy rich, and they love expensive things, and they love expensive lifestyles, don't they? They're today's rich and famous of America, the mega pastors, enriching themselves, feeding on the flock. Well, folks, you may have escaped this service, but you won't escape God's judgment when it comes. Because judgment is coming to America. Today is your warning. Today is your warning, Life Church. Today is your warning. It's time to get ready. It's time to forsake the world. Because destruction will come. And I'm not talking about the end of the world. No, God still judges people, and he still judges nations. And he's fixing to judge America. Yes, the shed blood of the innocent, the cries of the innocent blood has reached heaven. And God is fixing to avenge the blood of the innocent. Yes, the 50 million babies that this country has killed. The idolatry that's rampant across this country. God is getting ready to judge these things. And you may have escaped the service. You may have escaped another motivation message by Pastor Craig, but you won't escape God's judgment when it comes unless the Lord himself delivers you. So we're here to urge you today to draw near to God with all of your heart, all of your mind, and all of your strength. It's time to draw near to him, folks. It's time to stop playing church. Pastor Craig doesn't need any more money. He's got plenty. He's laughing all the way to the bank. Yes, and God is not impressed with bricks and mortars. No, God is looking for people with hearts that are near him. Jesus said, these people draw near to me with their mouths, and they honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Where are your hearts? Where are your hearts? Yes, that's why we're here. It's time to examine ourselves today. It's time to examine ourselves today. Because judgment is coming. The Lord is fixing to judge this nation. Yes, the Lord is fixing to judge this nation. And he will use the enemies of America to bring judgment upon it. Yes, that's how the Lord does it. When the sword is brought against America, the Lord could use China. He could use Russia. He could use North Korea. The Lord could use our enemies from the south. And there's probably a lot of mockers here today, isn't there? Mocking, thinking this is really funny. You know what? You will receive a strict judgment. Yes, the mockers and scoffers will receive a strict judgment. So today I hope there's some that can heed the warning. I hope there's some that have ears to hear. I hope there are some. But unfortunately, most of the mega churches with the mega pastors getting rich, they all have one thing in common. There's a lot of gullible women at a lot of these churches. And ladies, it's time to wake up out of your slumber. It's time to wake up, because behind every mega pastor is a lot of gullible women. And it's time to forsake this. The Lord is not impressed with these mega pastors enriching himself. These mega pastors living in luxury. Jesus didn't live in luxury. Paul didn't live in luxury. Peter didn't live in luxury. John didn't live in luxury. No, but there's one thing in common with the mega church pastors. They all love luxury. They all love money. They're lovers of money. Oh, and they tell you about all the good deeds they do while they're taking your money. How disgusting it is, folks. Wake up. Wake up. He's telling you all the wonderful things he does while he's taking your money. He's picking your pockets. And he's getting rich. And he's living in luxury. They all do it. It's time to wake up and forsake this place, folks. Judgment is coming. And it will find you. And there will be no escape from it unless God himself delivers you. Yes, Craig is not going to be able to help you. He's not even going to try. Craig isn't going to try to help you in the day of destruction when it comes to this nation. Today is your warning. It's time to get ready. It's time to get right, folks.
Yes.
Your pastor, Pastor Craig, won't even stand up for the unborn because he thinks it's too big of a controversy in the churches. He won't even stand up for the unborn. That's your pastor enriching himself, feeding on the sheep. Folks, it's time to kick out your wolf. It's time to shut this building down and shut that wolf down. It's time to tell that wolf to take a hike because your pastor is a wolf feeding on the flock. And it said in the Bible that evil men and impostors would grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Folks, there it is in the Bible. Evil men and impostors would grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Folks, it's time to get rid of the wolf. It's time to kick out this wolf that's been feeding on you. Because judgment is coming, folks. Judgment is coming. And it will find you. There will be no escape from it unless God himself delivers you. Folks, do you hear these things? The sword is getting ready to be raised to America. God is fixing to raise the sword to America.